Got questions about your books? Let's ask the HPB Buy Guy.
Hi, I'm Steve. I'm the HPB Buy Guy. You know, making sure that what you've got is a true first edition isn't always as easy as it sounds. A book that says it's a first edition isn't always a first printing of the first edition. And a first printing is usually the one everyone wants. Here's where you start on the copyright page, which is the back side of the title page. This is where publishers tell you whether the book is a first edition or not, or better yet, a first printing. Let's take a look at this one. It says first edition right here, so that means it is a first edition. But this is an example of a book that says it's a first edition, but it also has a row of numbers. See, first edition, row of numbers starts with 7. It doesn't start with a 1. That means it's a 7th printing of the first edition and not very collectible. Pretty tricky, huh? Here's an example of a number line that you should be looking for. This one starts with a 1. This is a first printing of the first edition. A couple other examples of how publishers show their first editions. Here's one from Viking. Viking says published in and has the year. That means this is a first edition. Some publishers just don't list other editions on the copyright page. Here's an example of a book published by Knopf. And on the copyright page at the bottom it says second printing. That means it's not a first printing. Also, you'll want to make sure that your book isn't a book club edition. How can you tell if something is a book club edition? For one thing, it's going to be smaller, lighter, and more cheaply made. You're also going to not have a price here on the front flap of the dust jacket, or on newer editions, there won't be a price on the barcode. Some book club editions may have an embossed or painted shape on the lower right rear corner, and they're not made of cloth, they're made of cheap paper. Some book club editions even say book club edition right here on the front flap of the dust jacket. Now here's an exception. This is a book club edition of To Kill a Mockingbird that's actually collectible. Why is it collectible? Well, for one thing, it has a picture of Harper Lee taken by her pal Truman Capote. This picture was removed from later editions, making this one collectible. Once you've determined you have a first edition, you have to figure out whether it's worth more than just the enjoyment of reading. But that's a topic for another day. This is the Buy Guy saying so long.
If you've got a question for the HPB Buy Guy, email buyguy@hpb.com.